Shabbat Shalom. For over 2 decades, Ed Matisoff has led our annual commemoration of the Shoah, a 24-hour program with great meaning and importance, reading of the names. Through his leadership of reading of the names, and with his dedication in many other places at Congregation Beth Torah, Ed fulfills what our Jewish philosopher Emil Fackenheim names the 614th commandment. Fackenheim writes, "We are commanded first to survive as Jews, lest the Jewish people perish. We are commanded second to remember in our very guts and bones the martyrs of the Holocaust, lest their memory perished. We are forbidden, thirdly, to deny or despair of God, however much we may have to contend with him or belief in him, lest Judaism perish. We are forbidden, finally, to despair of the world as the place which is to become the kingdom of God, lest we help make it a meaningless place in which God is dead or irrelevant, and everything is permitted. As a father who raised children who remain dedicated to their Judaism and their children's Judaism to this day, as a passionate advocate for Holocaust remembrance, and as an active seeker of mitzvot, Ed Matisoff is a wonderful model for honoring that 614th commandment. You not only help us to remember the Shoah, help us to remember the tragedy, but you have raised a family and a whole big circle of friends and community who celebrate our Judaism together and are proud to do so. So thank you, Ed, for guiding us in remembering our past, in ensuring our future, and creating truly meaningful Jewish experiences in the present as well. First tonight, I would like to invite Larry Guzik and Alan Hoffman, and then second, we'll have Laura Schwartz to honor Ed.
Hold your applause for later. Alan and I are pleased to be here on open mic night where we can say or do whatever we want.
And we will.
Actually, we are here to introduce and speak for a few minutes about Ed Matisoff.
Some people also call him Edward or Ed.
Some people refer to him as Rabbi because of his vast knowledge of Judaism.
Yes, people do call him those names, but we are proud to just call him our friend. However, we're always curious about how smart Ed was until
he asked us to do this introduction.
We're not sure what he was thinking because Shirley, and don't call me Shirley, he knew there would be at least a little roasting involved at his expense when he asked us to do this. Thinking about Ed, I know he's a real gamer. Several of you know he's a real gamer. Just try and play relative insanity with Ed. Translate his light Boston accent, and even make sure that he does wear his glasses. You got your glasses? He wears his glasses when he reads the prompts, even if that's questionable. When we walked in, Ed, you were sitting in my seat, and we got you to move up here, so that's great.
With that, this is going to be sad. To the tune of the theme of Love Story, in case you don't recognize the tune, which you won't, and with apologies to Henry Mancini and Andy Williams. You ready, Alan?
No, but we'll do it.
Okay. Where do we begin to tell the story of a man whose name is Ed? He volunteers a lot, this list it must be read. His story lies ahead. When he first joined CBT, he asked, "What do you need from me?" He jumped right in, I think you'll all agree. He does so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Sit back, there's more.
Most of you know Ed was born in Boston and grew up in Massachusetts, which explains why he talks funny. He worked for GTE Verizon for 27 years until he started his own real estate consulting practice. Linda and Ed were married in Stamford, Connecticut in March 1981 and just celebrated their 45th wedding anniversary. Yay.
Yay.
They have 2 children, Laura and Jason, and they have 4 grandchildren whom they adore. And as an example of Ed's wit, when Linda and Ed were dating, Linda mentioned she wanted a nickname, so Ed started calling her Nikki, short for nickname. I don't know if any of you want to start calling her Nikki, but that is between you and Linda.
Larry, you mentioned Ed's accent because that's a strong accent. Hey, are you willing to do a little reenactment to demonstrate how that accent happens and how hard it is to understand him?
Sure, Alan. First, let's set the scene. Linda's and Ed's daughter, Laura, had just been in an auto accident and went to the hospital. Ed went to the hospital, and Laura asked Ed to explain things to the doctor. Okay, Alan, you be the doctor, and I
Okay.
will be Ed. Ready, and action.
So tell me, Mr. Matisoff, exactly what happened.
Well, doctor, she was driving down this street when this other car came out of nowhere.
Excuse me, what?
She was driving down this street when the other car came out of nowhere.
And how fast was that cow going?
What?
How fast was this cow going?
No, not car, car.
Car. Oh, you're saying car? That makes more sense. And
Cut.
cut.
Okay, now the real reason we are here. Ed is being honored for his volunteer work here at CBT.
Ed has served in numerous capacities on the executive board, including VP of Finance when Chuck Smith was president, and he revamped our accounting system.
Dainu.
He hired our bookkeeper who recently retired.
Dainu.
With Chuck, he helped negotiate Rabbi Raskin's 5-year contract.
Dainu.
He was on various committees, including the ad hoc committee to review CBT's possible move.
Dainu.
You guys are getting this, that's good. Ed was also treasurer when Sid and Linda were president.
Dainu.
In this capacity, he identified the need to lead a team and led a team to clean up the old CBT financial records and install new ShulCloud software, which we all use today and started under Sid.
Dainu.
In addition, there's more, Ed also serves as Gabbai Sheni.
Dainu.
Ed was also CBT's Men's Club co-president for 3 years, where he introduced CBT unto every person there was a name, the reading of the names vigil, coordinated with CBT Men's Club. This was the 23rd annual event. They didn't have the event for 2 years because of COVID. This will be spoken about more in depth shortly.
Dainu. Although not for CBT, Ed has done volunteer work within the local Jewish community as well, and you don't need to say Dainu after all these.
But you can.
Yeah, if you want. He was a planning and allocations committee member for the Jewish Federation Dallas. He assisted in the construction of the new synagogue with budgeting and financial forecasting for Congregation Beth Torah. He assisted with the accounting and financial forecasts and financial statements for the Torah Day School. He assisted Congregation Anshe Torah in their first major construction renovation of their purchased church building in Plano.
Wow, now that's a lot. It's no wonder he's being honored tonight. Everyone knows him and knows he's a very kind, generous, and thoughtful person. He will always be there whenever he is needed.
Ed, we thank you so much for all you do. With that, we now turn it over to Ed's and Linda's daughter, Laura.
I don't know how to follow that, but I have a folder. So, not to brag. Good Shabbos. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura Schwartz, and I am the very proud daughter of Ed Matisoff. If you know my dad, you might think you already know him. A father, a husband, a friend, a community member, someone dependable and steady with a very dry sense of humor. You might recognize him by his accent, like you mentioned, and wonder if he's either from Boston or London, which does happen. He's from Boston. That was clarified. And all of that is true. But tonight, I want to share with you some things about my dad that people may not know about him. First off, my dad plays softball for our Connecticut synagogue team for many years. My dad knew he was going to marry my mom after their first date playing racquetball. My dad's first time playing racquetball was his first date with my mom. My dad has become the treasurer in every organization he has ever been a part of: synagogue, Boy Scouts, Masons, just to name a few, voluntold, maybe. My dad still rocks a mean hook shot in basketball, and he's happy to show you that anytime, anywhere. And when my dad was young, him and his brother, Uncle Larry, they were at Revere Beach, if you know it more of the accent, and his brother's tuna fish sandwich. So at some point, another kid took his brother's tuna fish sandwich, or tuna fish sandwich, as he says, and without hesitation, my dad took off running after that kid, and I believe Uncle Larry's tuna fish sandwich was saved. On the surface, it's a funny story about a stolen sandwich, and while us Matisoffs do love our tuna fish sandwiches, it's not really about the sandwich. It's about what it reveals. Even as a kid, my dad had an instinct to protect, to stand up, to defend someone who couldn't or shouldn't have to defend themselves. That instinct never left him. It shows up constantly and consistently. My dad is fiercely loyal to the people he loves, and he has unwavering devotion to his family. And if one of his children needs help, he will drop everything, which reminds me, Monday, are you available to see the plumber? Just hang out at my house? We'll talk afterwards, thank you. So this isn't something he does occasionally, this is who my dad is. Some of the most meaningful ways my dad defends others are quieter, less visible, which is the most powerful of all. Like you mentioned, more than 23 years ago, my dad brought Reading of the Names program from our synagogue in Connecticut to Beth Torah. And through this program, and helped build it with Jeff Markowitz, names are read out loud, names of people who can no longer speak for themselves. It is an act of memory, of honor, and responsibility. My dad understood that remembering isn't passive, it's active, it's a form of defense. My brother grew up watching this kind of leadership and commitment, and it shaped us deeply. We both work in education, taking on leadership roles and supporting students with the same education we saw at home, clearly inspired more by values than by income. Forgot to mention that part. Inspired my dad, I eventually chaired the Reading of the Names program at the University of Arizona. Standing there, continuing work he had started years earlier, felt like carrying something sacred forward. And after I graduated college, I had the honor of serving alongside him on the Reading of the Names committee. So I asked the wisest people I know, when you think of this great man, what do you think? Lila, the eldest grandchild, one of the wisest people I know, reflected deeply and said, he is a great mad-libber, and he made a song about my name while exercising my legs as a baby. And somehow, 10 years later, our family will randomly sing that song. We'll sing it later for you all, whoever wants to hear it. It's incredibly catchy. Louis, the grandson, summed it up clearly. He's more funnier and kinder than anyone. And that's true. Granddaughter Leah shared, my papa loves me and shares his treats, which tells you everything you need to know about this man. And last but certainly not least, Macy, the youngest, offered her thoughts in a very direct and passionate way. With confusion in her eyes and love in her heart, she says, Papa, where Papa? I want my Papa. No Mama, no Dada, no Nana, I want Papa. And if that's not the sound of devotion, I don't know what is. So what my dad may not realize is that through all of this, through stolen sandwiches, through how his grandchildren see and through their eyes, quiet loyalty, tireless dedication and love, and decades of defending others, he has been teaching. He has been teaching his family, his community, and everyone around him what it means to live with courage, love, passion, and compassion. He taught us to stick up for others, to be defenders, to be helpers, and to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unnoticed. So tonight, Ed Matisoff isn't just Volunteer of the Month, he is our legacy. And on behalf of our family, our community, our friends who are family, thank you, Dad, for the lessons, the example, and for showing us that one person's commitment to others can truly shape generations.
Yasher Koach. Thank you to Alan, Larry, and Laura. Ed, would you like to share a few words?
I'll speak slowly. First, I want to thank everyone for coming. Shabbat Shalom. To me, that's the most important thing. We're here on Shabbos. Even though I'm not here many Fridays, my thoughts are always here. I want to thank all our speakers today for telling you the real truth about me. Somewhat the real truth about me, but, and of course, Laura, thank you very much for everything you said, and the rabbi. And I want to thank all of Beth Torah for making this environment possible to study and to pray, and as a safe space. I could have told the joke about the true story about the cow better. Well, the doctor didn't, obviously, but I won't. But anyway, thank you all very much. It was a wonderful honor. Thank Beth Torah for the honor, and Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach, Mazel Tov.